Humanities Guahan presents Indigenous Dance, Restoring Our Environment, Dancing Earth in Guam, featuring internationally recognized choreographer and dancer Rulan Tongyen. The Indigenous Intertribal Ensemble Dancing Earth is inspiring a renaissance in contemporary Native American performing arts. Dancing Earth will be in Guam for a week-long tour of dance workshops and performances, including free community performances at the University of Guam Fine Arts Theater and the Guam Museum. Dancing Earth will give a special full-length performance with Natibu Dance Academy at our benefit dinner on Saturday, October 14 at the Hyatt Regency Guam. Tickets are $175 per person. Join us for an evening of Indigenous artistic innovation. All proceeds will benefit Humanities Guahan, a nonprofit organization that provides foundational support and educational programs for the people of Guam. For more information, call Humanities Guahan at 472-4461 or find us on Facebook. Sponsored by
This lineup is brought to you by AutoSpot, Guam's fastest growing dealership with in-house financing. You'll be amazed what we can do. Captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion. KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust. Serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson Navigation, serving Guam and Micronesia for 20 years. Cars Plus, Dodge Challenger, the undisputed champion. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dededo. Always open, always local.
Ahead on Primetime, a defense witness takes the stand in the retrial of a man accused of killing his mother. Plus, a max unit inmate is caught for the third time with contraband inside his cell. And lawmakers debate a measure dealing with the physical fitness standards for the island's law enforcement agencies.
Hafide and good evening.
Its defense's expert against the government's on the stand today. Defense presented its one and only witness, Dr. Joseph Cohen. The California-based forensic pathologist testified via Skype in the final day of retrial for Alan Agababa, the man accused of killing his mother to collect her death benefits.
As reported, Guam's chief medical examiner determined the 55-year-old flight attendant died from blunt force trauma to the head. He also determined her manner of death was a homicide.
How did Shelley Bernstein come to pass in her Tamuning apartment 4 years ago? Depends who you ask. Via Skype, California-based forensic pathologist Dr. Joseph Cohen concluded there wasn't enough information collected to rule Bernstein's manner of death a homicide.
The cause of death and manner of death determination are not fair and accurate. That's the bottom line. And there's additional information that would have solidified the case more clearly.
Dr. Cohen's expert opinion, Bernstein's manner of death was undetermined. He noted that local authorities failed to test suspected blood marks on the exteriors and interiors of Bernstein's home, as well as suspected bone fragments at the scene. Also lacking photographs of the brain, blood tests, and x-rays. Whatever caused the blunt force trauma to Bernstein's head, he determined, was not enough to kill her. Neither was the amount of blood lost from her 90-pound frame. What was suspicious, 3 fentanyl patches on Bernstein's arm, as well as other patches found on the bed. Fentanyl, as previously explained in trial, is a prescription painkiller, more potent than morphine. Dr. Cohen concluded that mixed with other drugs found in her urine samples.
I would pin her death, Shelley's death, on the combination of multiple drug intoxication and the slight amount of bleeding from her laceration to the head.
Defense is paying $600 per hour for Dr. Cohen's services. He assured jurors his opinion is his own and is not based on who has contracted his services. It was noted that Dr. Cohen would not have testified today had he not been paid last night for his services in Agababa's previous trial 3 years ago. That balance was close to $5,000. Following Dr. Cohen's testimony, defense rested its case.
If his name sounds familiar, Dr. Joseph Cohen was also defense's expert witness in the Mark Torrey Jr. trial earlier this year.
Well, a former car rental employee is arrested after he allegedly took a car from his now former employer. 25-year-old Damien Jerome Mendiola is charged with theft of an automobile, possession of a Schedule II controlled substance, and possession of less than an ounce of marijuana. Court documents state the rental company reported the former employee had previously taken a car from the lot. That resulted in him being fired from the company. Police later tracked down the car he allegedly stole and found a glass pipe with suspected crystal meth inside the compartment of the rearview mirror. Authorities also found the suspect, who apparently had a white bag with a glass pipe and a small bag of marijuana.
The list of charges against him is stacking up. Department of Corrections inmate Sean Johnson is caught with contraband again. Corrections officers conducted a shakedown at the Special Housing Unit late Tuesday when they found 2 cell phones inside Johnson's cell. This is the 3rd time officers found contraband inside his Post 6 maximum security unit cell in the last month. He now faces additional criminal charges. Johnson has since been charged with promoting major prison contraband after last month's major bust involving several corrections officers. The prison's internal affairs is now looking into how Johnson continues to get the contraband.
A man is recovering after a serious motorcycle crash on Route 15 yesterday afternoon. It happened just before 6 p.m. on Tuesday. Police say the accident involved a 1998 Dodge Ram that exited onto Route 15 from Smithbridge, colliding with a Yamaha 600 motorcycle heading north. The motorcycle operator was rushed to the Guam Regional Medical City, where he was last reported to be in serious condition.
Governor Calvo is standing by the State Historic Preservation Officer's call for a pause in the controversial live fire training range. As
we reported Tuesday, Linda Uggan is requesting a reevaluation of the project's impact on cultural artifacts and ancient burial sites at Anderson's Northwest Field. Nestor Lecanto reports.
The Historic Preservation Officer sent off a letter to the Federal Advisory Council on Historic Preservation outlining 15 separate concerns, including human burials and skeletal fragments discovered in areas previously considered absent of burials. The range has also drawn protests from original landowners and environmental activist groups who worry about lasting damage to the area. Robert Crisostomo is the governor's advisor for the military buildup.
Linda Uggan is the government's fiduciary in the protection, the care, and the preservation of artifacts found during or before, during, and after the buildup. She is the only signator on the programmatic agreement, and she carries a lot of weight.
Uggan also raised the concerns of the territorial archaeologist who claimed survey methodologies were flawed from the beginning. She also wrote that there is a lack of clear understanding of the indigenous people's cultural, ancestral, and traditional rights to access.
I've been working on that letter for quite some time, and her concerns are being vetted through the correct channels. The governor stands ready to support her. I stand ready to support her as the military buildup advisor. Her concerns will be heard and will be resolved to her satisfaction before we move on.
Crisostomo says there are more than $5 billion worth of buildup related projects planned in the next 5 years, both inside and outside the fence. Military officials have said the $78 million live fire training range is a key component. The legislature has scheduled a public hearing on the issue next week, with the military, the administration, original landowners, activist groups, and the Historic Preservation Officer all invited to attend. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Thanks, Nestor. Lawmakers spent the afternoon debating an amendment to give law enforcement officers possibly more time to comply with the post-physical fitness requirements. This as the discussion on session floor surrounds a bill proposing to lighten up the standards. Giving the island's law enforcement community more time to get in shape, Senator Talina Nelson's Bill 165 was highly debated on session floor. The measure would modify the Air Force physical fitness standards that GovGuam's public safety community are required by law to meet by this December.
In order to save the jobs and also the concerns of public safety, because if we lose over 50% of our force, that causes a threat.
Senator Mike St. Nicholas took issue with the measure.
We have police officers who meet the standard. And the rationale is that, well, because we have so many and it's going to put us at risk, we got to lower it. And I'm concerned with the precedents that sets. Sometimes we just got to say no.
Though a co-sponsor of the bill, Senator Mary Torres admits she was disturbed with some of the changes in the measure.
Perhaps we should just get rid of the whole thing, just repeal it. If you're going to you're going to lower your standards to the point where it doesn't even make sense to have a standard, it's quite laughable at that point, but more so pathetic.
Her argument comes as individual law enforcement agencies have until next summer to submit their own physical fitness standards. She says there is no need for this interim standard. Torres, however, motioned to amend the law to change the implementation of the standards from 3 to 5 years, but it did not move forward. With all the talk about the threat of losing officers due to the new law, Speaker B.J. Cruz defended his involvement.
It was not something that I wanted to impose on people. It was requested. And I also didn't want to get up and speak, but I had to because it just kept coming up by the speakers before me that somehow this December, my legislation or the legislation that I introduced was going to be responsible for half the police force being thrown out.
Cruz adds the law states they would have 4 chances to meet the standards before any disciplinary action is taken. Discussion on the measure is ongoing.
It was probably felt more so by our neighbors to the north. The U.S. Geological Survey reporting a 4.8 magnitude earthquake about 13 kilometers west-southwest of Rota. It happened just before 10 a.m. today. Guam Homeland Security says despite the quake, there were no reports of damages or injuries called into 911 dispatch.
Stick around for more news here on Primetime.
You're watching KUAM.
There are more ways to experience KUAM News than any other source on Guam. Download the KUAM News app for your Apple or Android device for 24/7 news, sports, videos, weather, streaming with KUAM radio, and important news alerts. And stay connected at home with Guam's first app for Apple TV. All available now from the App Store.
When we face an uncertain path, when we struggle with life's challenges, and when the unexpected happens, it's a beautiful day. We rely on the people we trust, it's a beautiful, who we can always count on. And to the ones who give us the most care throughout the years. Rely on Calvo's Select Care to give you the comfort and security you need wherever you are. Calvo's Select Care, health care that's always there for you.
At ITNE and get double data on the network that gives you more.
It's Hyundai's Kickoff the Savings event going on now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Score big, save big with the all-new redesigned Hyundai Sonata Hybrid. Gain those extra yards with up to 45 miles per gallon highway and an introductory savings of $4,500. Or check out Guam's best offensive line, like a new Accent starting at $11,995 or the new Elantra starting at $16,995. How about the new Tucson starting at $19,995? Plus, every new Hyundai gets Guam's best warranty. It's Hyundai's Kickoff the Savings event at Cars Plus and Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
The Cheers Guam Series presents the largest wine event of the year, WineFest 2017. Enjoy an evening with over 150 wines from around the world on Friday, October 6th, as the Hyatt Regency Ballroom transforms into an international wine extravaganza. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. General admission tickets are $66 and are available at the Hyatt Deli and all 76 Circle K locations. Super premium tickets are $180 and are available at the Hyatt Deli. Purchase your tickets today. Must be 21 years or older to attend. Savor the wines of the world at WineFest 2017. Connect with KUAM News. Find us on your favorite social media platform. Follow us and stay in the know with Guam's news leader.
With tensions between the United States and North Korea on the rise once again, the island's Homeland Security Advisor discussed preparedness with local accountants this afternoon. Isa Baza reports.
A declaration of war or a war of words. North Korea claims the U.S. has declared war with the rogue state after President Donald Trump tweeted that North Korea, quote, won't be around much longer, end quote. President Trump also said that if the U.S. chooses to use its military options, it would be, quote, devastating for North Korea. However, Guam's Homeland Security Advisor George Charfris assured the public today that Guam remains safe and has defenses in place in case the war of words turns into anything more than just that. Charfris spoke before the Association of Government Accountants earlier today.
Please believe me when I say we are safe.
Charfris explained that while North Korea has tested at least 3 different types of ballistic missiles, he does not yet believe the country has the technology to accurately hit a target. He added that numerous defenses are in place ranging from Aegis warships to the Terminal High Altitude Area Defense Systems and satellites that can track potential launches within seconds.
The minute we know that it's a threat to the United States or to the allies or Guam, those systems are talking to each other and they come up with, what I call a fire solution. They come up with the best solution and they knock it out of the air.
The missile intercept can happen either in the endo or exo atmosphere.
There's no explosion. It breaks it up.
He added, in the event of a potential incident, the island's all hazards alert warning system would go off and residents would be encouraged to stay indoors until the all clear is given. Earlier this month, Homeland Security also announced plans to fast-track funding for 31 additional emergency sirens for the island. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Isa Baza.
Vulnerabilities at the Port Authority of Guam, that was revealed at a recent public hearing on a measure that would use bonds for the purpose of financing capital improvement projects at the port.
Today, a special visit from FEMA officials proved to be another display, a show that port staff are doing what it takes to ensure they get as much federal grant money as possible. Valerie Maige has more.
More than $11 million in federal grant money has flowed into the port over the years. Today, Federal Emergency Management Agency Branch Chief Alex Mrazek made a trip to Guam's port. He says the agency has left quite the impression.
The port folks have really done a good job at justifying their needs, and the port's been very successful over the years with securing grant money, and it's good to have the opportunity to come out and actually see the equipment and see what the dollars have been doing.
Equipment like an inherited Coast Guard boat, completely refurbished using grant money, port police vehicles, a port x-ray machine also dispatched to Guam Customs and Quarantine, yard lighting systems, and radio communications. Assistant Police Chief Chris Roberto says FEMA grant money has also gone into efforts like cybersecurity and the current Port Command Center, which has their own emergency operations center.
It's a seamless process for us here because the incident command system is what we use down here, and many of our employees are trained to the levels that's necessary to run down here at the port. So we're pretty much self-sustaining, and this building speaks for itself.
The port was recently awarded $827,000 in FEMA grants, which would be used for the sustainment and maintenance of 4 newly purchased load centers, as well as special funding for operational and tactical training for the Port Police Division's Maritime Enforcement Unit. But access to grant funding is no easy feat, and Guam's port is up against others to ensure they secure as much as they can.
The program is a competitive program throughout the country, at the mainland and in the islands. So they compete against other ports for the funding. And it all comes based on how their application ranks on a competitive nature, and also there's a risk component factored in. Obviously, Guam is a very strategic port, and the good staff here have done a great job working with their Coast Guard partners, who we rely on in making funding decisions with the program. So again, they've had very good success over the years.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Valerie Maige.
Guam joined over 130 countries from around the world during Tourism Expo Japan 2017. The annual expo is the world's leading global tourism event with more than 2,100 vendors participating. Team Guam, led by Guam Visitors Bureau Board Chair Milton Morinaga, focused on the expo's theme, the power of travel, and gained a better understanding of how Japan wants to revitalize overseas travel and encourage tourism exchange to focus on culture and sports. At the Guam booth, participants took in breathtaking views being shown virtual reality footage of the territory.
Come out to support public education this weekend at the 5th Annual Department of Education Fun Run this Saturday. All proceeds from the 5K and 2K will benefit the district, with bibs purchased at the 41 schools going directly to each campus. Here's Deputy Superintendent Erica Cruz.
We've had schools in the last 5 years raise upwards to close to $2,000. So this is money that the teachers, the students, and the administrators can use, whether it be for supplies or equipment or whatever the needs are for the school.
The fun run will be followed by a health fair with a mobile clinic and free health screenings provided by DOE nurses. The grand prize is a round-trip ticket to anywhere in Micronesia, Manila, Singapore, or Hong Kong. And the first 700 finishers also receive a free t-shirt. Bibs can be purchased at the school or on race day.
The Guam Young Professionals held a leadership development conference at the Outrigger Hotel this week. The conference featured guest speakers from throughout the island to talk about several different topics, including communication, commitment and responsibility, delegation and empowerment, and managing up. Guest speakers include Executive Vice President for Payless Supermarkets Kathy Scrow and Docomo CEO Jonathan Kriegel.
Plans for a $400 million 180-megawatt power plant are starting to take shape. Speaking before the Chamber of Commerce Wednesday, GPA General Manager John Beneventi says time is of the essence. They need to replace the aging baseload units with new capacity that can meet the increasing demand. Beneventi says the CCU on Tuesday approved the bid process for the proposed plan in Dededo, subject to the PUC's approval.
We can proceed with the bid, but do a three-step bid where we start qualifying bidders so that by the time we get the land and complete the specifications, and have made our choices, we can just hand in the technical specs. The Harmon substation next to Okudu is really the heart of the system. From that location, there's underground lines to Tumon, to Tamuning, to down Tumon Bay, all the way to the hospital, to the airport, up to, there'll be underground lines in the near future, all the way to NCS, Anderson.
Beneventi says if all goes as planned, they hope to have the new clean energy burning combustion turbine plant completed by December of 2021. He says despite the multi-million-dollar price tag, GPA does not anticipate an increase in rates. There are ways to keep cool without turning on your air conditioner, but this is Guam, and temperatures and the humidity can make it feel at times like you're swimming through a bowl of kadu.
Yeah, who can argue at that point then? Well, Valerie Maige has more with this week's Think Green.
Think Green, presented by GPA, bringing energy solutions to you.
It's no secret that having an AC is a must on the island. With that being said, here are a few cool tips. Keep the AC lower at night. At night, you don't require the same level of conscious cool. Try turning your AC down, or if your unit has one, utilize the sleep mode. Service your unit. Some basic maintenance might be all your AC needs and could benefit from a good hosing out, especially because Guam has lots of little critters that might end up in the filters and other parts, making your unit work harder. And try 78 degrees, a good point for an AC to run at its optimal performance level. Paying for half-cool air isn't anyone's idea of money well spent, and with that being said, meet Franco Hui. He's the owner of Sundance Collection in Tamuning, a Guam Power Authority trade ally ready to assist you with your Energy Sense rebate and cooling needs.
We start our business in 2002, but we're moving in a new location here 2007, so it's about 10 years this year. So we're doing a business for, especially the AC, everything, 10 years, but the AC is expanding on recent years.
Hui's company is the exclusive distributor for a globally known Medea brand, offering GPA rebates from $200 to $300.
All our models qualify, from 9,000 to 36,000 BTU.
Okay.
Yeah, 9,000, 12,000, 18,000, 24, and 30, 36, all qualify.
Sundance offers a great warranty program as well.
Currently, we offer the 2 years compressor and 1 year parts and labor.
The Medea brand is a world-renowned company, known as a leader in appliances and HVAC systems. Hui says every year Medea holds an annual training for its contractors, and earlier this year, his contractors participated in training for installation and service.
We do have the installation, and then we have the maintenance and service and installation team here.
And as an exclusive Medea distributor for Guam, Hui says the brand has something special just for the island.
We told Medea that this is a special island. They make something like special for this Guam and Micronesia Island. They make a special coating on that, and then this will last longer. And also the fins, they usually use in a gold one like the other brand, but now they using a green fin. It will last longer.
Hui wants to help all customers who come his way, so much so that they've even got special deals going for customers with slashed prices. Come check out Sundance Collection in Tamuning for your cooling and GPA rebate deals. For this week's Think Green, I'm Valerie Maige.
Think Green, presented by GPA, bringing energy solutions to you.
Sports is next, but first, here's weather.
From the network that brought you up to 3 times more data comes the dawn of a new data. The epic story of Guam's only network brave enough to give 10 free gigs of bonus data on every line every month to customers who bundle their services. Reviewers are calling the offer totes awesome. Best deal ever. And yes.
Visit GTA.net for details.
For 20 years, Matson has been an important part of our everyday lives. Bringing in the cars we drive, the food we eat, and the materials that helped build our homes. From caring for our land through the Adaki Itanu program to generously supporting our local charities, Matson has contributed to the preservation and growth of our island. On behalf of those you've served throughout your 20 years on Guam, Kidzas Ma'asi Matson.
The Cheers Guam Series presents the largest wine event of the year, WineFest 2017. Enjoy an evening with over 150 wines from around the world on Friday, October 6th, as the Hyatt Regency Ballroom transforms into an international wine extravaganza. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. General admission tickets are $66 and are available at the Hyatt Deli and all 76 Circle K locations. Super premium tickets are $180 and are available at the Hyatt Deli. Purchase your tickets today. Must be 21 years or older to attend. Savor the wines of the world at WineFest 2017.
Reduce your energy costs with GPA's Energy Sense program. Energy Sense provides cash rebates with the purchase of qualified energy-efficient air conditioners, washers, and dryers that help reduce your energy usage. Contact GPA today at 647-5787, 8 or 9 to learn more about Energy Sense and other ways to help reduce your monthly energy usage and save money by using energy more efficiently. For more Energy Sense saving ideas, visit GuamPowerAuthority.com or like us on Facebook. Energy Sense makes good sense.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
Afade, Tato, Marianas, Guahusi, Chris, Mekulis, Wednesday, woohoo, hump day. Let's kick it off in a battle of girls volleyball right now. The undefeated Notre Dame Royals put that perfection on the line last night on the road at the GW Geckos of Mungie Town. GW in second place in the division at 9-2, having lost to the Royals already this season. ND 13-0, sitting pretty in first place. Geckos coach Bobby Kanata saying her team has their eye on the playoffs, which are weeks away. Some really great volleyball last night, girls. Geckos Sawyer Park with a diving save here. ND playing the way that got them here. GW took the first set, though, 25-11, with the Royals fighting back in the second set. Both teams playing so good. More blocks than Facebook, more kills than Chucky, and more aces than a poker table. ND took the second set, 25-22. Third set, just cray. Coach Q said losing once to the Royals was enough, and she was right. as the Geckos battle back to take the third set and the match. Coach Q saying she wanted the Lady Geckos to play smarter, not harder, and they took the third 26-24. ND, though, still pretty damn good team at 13-1. GW now 10-2. Other games, St. John's over Sanchez in 2 sets, Southern over Harvest in 3, and JFK, the Islanders, over the Ukadu Bulldogs, also in 3 sets.
No matter what, we all had to calm down and play our ball. We all played as a team. We didn't give up. Shout out to my team for playing together and working hard.
The Guam Basketball Confederation opens its new training center's doors in Tizen yesterday at a ribbon cutting held at the facility, which gives Guam's blossoming national basketball program a home. The program, thriving under its leadership, competing well in FIBA-sanctioned events. Guam's U17 men's team finished third in the Oceania Championships here on Guam, successfully defending their bronze medal at home, and the U17 women's team barely missed a medal, finishing fourth. With Team Guam dominating the local FIBA 3-on-3 tournament held earlier this year, things are looking bright for the Guam National Hoops program. Big strides being made with both the men's and women's programs in terms of recruitment and development. And now that the GBC has a place to call home, look for Team Guam to buckle down and hustle to represent the island. All right, we're back tomorrow with another episode of Game Changers. Until then, Guahusi Chris, thanks for watching. Adios!
Associate at Nissan Upper Tumon.
48 hours. That's all we get in a week. But those 48 hours, we try to make them last forever. How? By filling them fast with all the right stuff. With a lot of laughter, a little drama, some adventure, and a whole lot of love.
Dad, Mom's here.
It happens pretty quick.
Bye, Dad.
But it's cool. Because the rest of the week, we talk about our plans.
You want to go to the beach?
On how to make the next 48 hours last us a lifetime.
Been waiting for the best deals on a new car? Now is the time to buy during Triple J Auto Group's anniversary celebration going on in September. Get unbelievable deals on our full 2017 inventory of Hondas, Mazdas, Acuras, Fords, Kias, Lincolns, and Volvos. Zero down, 1.9% financing plus a $500 Kmart gift certificate. Check out deals like the Kia Sportage as low as $161 per paycheck, or the Mazda 6 or Honda Civic both at only $169 per paycheck. Get pre-approved instantly at triplejguam.com. Trade-ins welcome. Some conditions apply. Triple J, 33 years of putting customers first.
And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shoutouts from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
Happy birthday to you, Roberto Enriquez.
Happy 4th birthday to Jevin Jace Kanata. Love Mommy, Daddy, Jade, and Ethan.
Happy birthday to KUM's very own Jesse Lujan.
And happy belated birthday to Joe Michael Kanata. Happy 16th birthday.
Remember, you can be part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online on KUAM.com. Please make sure to include with your birthday, your name, and your photo.
That's our time. Good evening.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion.
Hafa day, everybody. Welcome to Extra. I'm Sabrina Salas Matanani. In our lineup tonight, we're going to tell you about an upcoming workshop on farming. Also, Crystal Paco has At the Bar, and we'll close out the show with highlights from the Miss World Guam pageant. But first, here's the Culture Club with Jonah Goncharfris.